Okay, we're kind of over in the machine shop side here. This is the intake for it. We degreased it, pressure washed it and that. I'll finish taking it apart. We'll put it in the cabinet and clean it up with the media blaster. And yeah, make it look a little bit nicer. At this point, I think I'm using this one, but I'm not 100% sure. But at this point, I got it, so it's maybe going back on. Car did have a windage tray in it. Had a lifter valley tray, which is kind of cool. So that's going back in. Keeps hot oil off the bottom of the intake. Here's the pistons and rods in it. A little bit black looking. Little dome on them. So about 10.5 to 1. You know, nothing looked terrible. Bearings are kind of wore out and that on it. Broken rings. Quite a few broken rings. I haven't laid it all out yet and figured which is which, and I wanted to do that for you guys. But when I took it out, quite a few had broken rings on it. And one of them, which was kind of really surprising, I never seen one kind of broke like that. None of them come out and gouge the cylinder or anything. But one was like, I don't know, it had to be in 20 or 30 pieces. But it was still all in the ringland. Nothing, it just, when I pulled it out, they just kind of fell apart. They're even stuck in there still. So I don't know if you can kind of see them in my hand or not. But bring them a little bit closer just in case. I can't quite tell. But yeah, just a whole bunch of them broke. RPM, but also I'll do a close-up for you on what the problem was with the shaking and that is we got some valves here that on the exhaust side that are pounded right into the seat. And these heads would have been done, well, of course, back in '69, and they had leaded fuel back then. So then they would have been fine, but when they took the lead out of the fuel, the steel in the seats wasn't really hard enough, and the valves would pound them out. And so I think in them cylinders, when you see how sunk the valve is, the cam was hardly opening the valve enough to let any exhaust out. So I think at that point is maybe when it put pressure on some of the rings and busted some of the rings. That's just kind of a guess. I'm actually going to look a little bit more into it because I haven't really ran into that. But these are a closed chamber head. Lots of guys used to take them, put them on the 454 flat tops, bump the compression a point or an over and a point or so. They had a 9 to 1 454. They throw these on and have over 10 to 1. I did it years ago. It was poor boy's hot rod motor. So these are going back on. Oval ports are a great street head in my mind. I got a set of rectangular ports, 427 ones. I thought about using them, but I just really don't see the point because this car is not going to be in that RPM range to make use of the heads. They like to be up there. They got big ports on them, and you lose some bottom end in the lower RPM on the street with them heads. So I'm sticking with these oval port ones. I might clean up a few areas in them. I am not going to port and polish them really. Maybe under the valve I'll clean up some spots there and just tweak it in a few areas just because of what they are. I don't want to port and polish them just because they are like a numbers deal, 427. So I don't need to race port these or anything. I can get another set of heads if I want to do that. I kind of want to leave these ones more like the factory made them. So that's going to be the deal with them. But we'll show you what we got to do to them. They probably all need all new valves, all new exhaust seats, and they will need new springs and retainers and that. One kind of got badly damaged. Probably wasn't that far away from dropping a valve. And so we'll show you some of that as we do it. But it's going to get a more aggressive cam in it. And there's been a lot of trouble with hydraulic flat tappet cams. I'm just going flat tap, and I'm not rollarizing this. It's going to be more of a '69 build. So I'm going flat tappet cam, but I'm going to put a solid lifter flat tappet in it, just because I think guys are having more luck with those. There's been a lot of lifter failures in the last so many years, whether it's product problem, with some of the steels and stuff. I don't know, but there's been a lot more lifter failures than there used to be. And that's with the hydraulic flat tappet. I'm going to put in a solid flat tappet, and like I said, it's going to be quite a bit more aggressive, and not too aggressive, but it's going to be more aggressive for sure. And yeah, we'll try that, see how it likes it. But having said that, it'll need new springs and retainers and that kind of thing to match up with the cam. So yeah, hope that helps. But I'll take you out of the stand. I'll bring you over a little bit closer, and you guys can have a look at just how badly sunk these are. Still worried about dog food. Okay. All he hears me is spending money, spending money. Okay, so this one is not really sunk. So he's pretty normal. So you can see that, I can just catch my finger on the edge of that. Now, if you go down one hole, look at how far that guy is in. He is in there a long ways. He really got pounded in. So it rises the valve up a whole bunch. It puts pressure on the rocker and stuff. So the thing wasn't clattering, and that's why it wasn't clattering with like a lifter problem or anything. It was putting more pressure on it. But yeah, so he's not the only one. Next hole, you can see how sunk he is. Next hole, not so bad. One over here, actually really good. One there, not too bad. One there, getting deeper. He's pounded in pretty good. And then this one, not all that bad. Now, this guy would have been driver's side head. And this cylinder would have been our cold cylinder. These ones that were a little bit colder, these two. They still made compression, that kind of thing, but they were a little bit colder running, and so was that guy over there. Now, he wasn't as cold as this side, because I kept going over and I was like, there's kind of one cold one here, but this was the most noticeable. And yeah, this is our shake. This is our shaker. Why this thing was doing a little bit of shaking and we couldn't quite figure it out, how we tried everything. Tried ignition, tried plugs, tried lots of different things, carburetor and that, but in the end it was internal mechanical issue, and in the end, realistically, the motor is wore out. So I mean, had it not been doing that, it would have made it. I'm sure it would have made the runs. But you can see the old pistons got some scuffs in them. Yeah, I'm sure that these pistons are collapsed somewhat. They have to be. And the bearings in them, they're not terrible, not by any means, but they're wore for sure. So we're doing the right thing in what we're doing. So, but I guess on the other hand too, one thing we didn't know is, I mean, there's a pile of broken rings there. So yeah, let's rebuild this. Let's see if we can make some factory horsepower again, or more. I'm thinking more. We'll have an intake, we'll have carb, we'll have headers, we'll have a better cam. We'll probably surface these heads and stuff, so we'll make sure we're up there in compression a little bit. So we'll have a true 10 to 1. So yeah, I'm thinking we should make some fairly decent horsepower with it. We downloaded another 427 here. I think it was actually close to 500 now. It might have had a roller cam in it, but stock compression, very similar heads, real similar deal. So yeah, there's the main caps, windage tray studs. So yeah, we will be back and show you guys some more later, but that's the gist of it. So we did find our shake. There it is, people. There's the shaking problem. And we're going to fix it, make this thing run super smooth. Be back.